The 2002 Ford Pro Rodeo Series is brought to you by Ford and your Oklahoma Ford dealers. The best in Oklahoma. Oklahoma Department of Agriculture. The best is made in Oklahoma. Charlie's Chicken, providing the best quality chicken for the past 25 years. And Diamond Cut Jeans. Try a pair. They just fit better.
Welcome to the Oklahoma Ford Pro Rodeo Series. I'm Georgianne Abdo, Miss Rodeo USA. This week we're going to take a look back at the first part of our season. We'll see the top 10 bull rides this season in the Oklahoma Ford Series rodeos, and we'll get you caught up on all of the standings in the IPRA. But first, let's talk about this F-150 Ford Super Crew pickup to be given away by the Oklahoma Ford dealers. The contestant with the highest money in a single event will be the lucky Cowboy, or in last year's case, Cowgirl, who will be driving off in a brand new Ford F-150 Super Crew. The injuries are still playing a role in the standings. Rookie David Ross still hasn't returned from his rib injury. Last year's world champion bareback rider Raymond Cooper will have his work cut out for him, as he has yet to return from a broken collarbone. And another great rookie rider, Corey Evans, who broke his leg around the third stop of the Ford Series, has yet to return. So what does that all mean? It means that the standings are heating up, and the leads that were once created at the beginning of the season are quickly disappearing. When we come back, we'll take you to our first flashback event of the 2002 Oklahoma Ford Pro Rodeo Series, bareback riding. Stay with us. Want to get the best seats at Ford Center for IFR 33? Log on today to tickets.com or call 405-235-6540.
Well, I think the thing that's special about Ford is we're not just another nameless, faceless company. We're a company that has a soul. There is a sense of family here. People are third, fourth, fifth generation, and people have stories. It's so cool to me when I go out and talk to people, and the stories are, my grandfather worked with your grandfather, or my aunt, my uncle, my cousins, my brothers, my sisters, they all work here. And it's true in the dealerships as well. To me, that really sets us apart from other major corporations. There is a sense of history here. We have a direct link to that history, and we're a company that's really going to preserve that feeling going into the future. To me, the litmus test of whether we've done a good job here really is going to be the stories that the next generation is going to tell. I love this place, and I can't ever imagine doing anything else.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, there's something not right in fried chicken land. This man claims to have great-tasting chicken, ridiculously low prices, and heaping portions. How's it possible? Exhibit A, an ad showing Charlie's Chicken 3-chunk dinner. Look at that low price. Exhibit B, footage of the 3-piece chunk dinner. Large portions, 2 sides, mouth-watering. Exhibit C, the chunk tastes this. So, Charles?
Guilty as charged. Let's eat.
Charlie's Chicken 3-chunk dinner. It's a crime if you don't get some.
The bareback bronc riding standings have changed in the past several weeks. Some injuries that we had mentioned at the beginning of the show, and also some good riding by veterans that were in the back of the pack, have forced the standings to tighten up. Well, let's get to the top 10 riders of the IPRA bareback competition. At number 10 is the 1993 IPRA bareback world champion. He was also the 1991 IPRA bareback rookie of the year. Cody Sosby is just under $10,000 behind the leader, but is looking good for qualifying for his 12th International Finals Rodeo.
Here's a guy that's a 2-time Clown of the Year. He's a former world champion bareback rider as well, and he has got those shaggy chaps on, and I'll tell you what, this guy, he also competes in the tough man competition. I'll tell you what, you can see right there, Cody got behind, and once he did get his bell rung right there.
In the 9th position is Kevin Haas from Ohio. He's appeared in 2 straight IFR competitions, and he's won the last 2 years Northeast Region Championship. Now at number 8 is a Haskell, Oklahoma bareback rider that has been in every Oklahoma Ford Series rodeo. Steve Gussert has qualified to the IFR 2 consecutive years, and he looks to be on his way to his 3rd. Steve had a great run in the short go in Shawnee, Oklahoma.
He come to ride wild horses. He's on Bronco Billy. He was 74 points on the previous ride. And you can see this horse turning back to the right. Mr. Gusset does not weaken a bit. He stays right there as our Ford pickup man. Move in, William Griffith, Benny Jordan taking care of the work right there as we watch the replay here. Boy, that horse really run at him hard. Gusset never weakening a bit and really just staying in time with him, making an outstanding ride, and they rewarded him for it. 76 points.
Number 7 is a rider from Elkmont, Alabama. Josh Shackelford performed at IFR 32, where he came into the event in 3rd place. He was the 2000 IPRA Bareback Rider of the Year. He is on his way to returning to the Ford Center. At number 6 is the rookie from Nebraska. He started off the season with a great ride in Owasso, but then about the 3rd stop of the Ford Series, he broke his leg. However, he had opened up a big enough lead to still be in the top 10.
Let's see what he can do here as he's drawing Roland B. Rodeo Company, Lightning S. Rodeo production horse by the name of Big Mac. Now watch this big black horse as he comes straight down the arena. Jumping, kicking, I'm telling you what, this horse is sure throwing the power to our Cowboy, Corey Evans. And as our Ford Rescue team, Cass Sally and Mr. Rod Adair move in there to set him on the ground, we'll show you a slow-mo. Now watch here as Corey, as we talked about that spur out rule, he reaches and pulls. Every jump, he's reaching up there in front of the point of the horse's shoulder and spurring that horse like nobody's business. And our Diamond Cut judges, they reward him pretty well with 78 points.
The top 5 of the IPRA Bareback standings see the defending world champion and 4 men that we have seen nearly every week on the Oklahoma Ford Series. At number 5, it is Doug Fennell. Doug Fennell comes from Stroud, Oklahoma. He competes in the bull riding as well as bareback. Only $182 separates him from number 4. He had a couple of great runs this season. This one came from Miami, Oklahoma.
Here he is on Red Cloud. This is the horse ride here that Cody Hart had a while ago that was 77 points. And as we stay to form right there, and our Ford pickup men moving in to get Douglas on the ground, our Diamond Cup Pro Rodeo officials are going to say 76 points. As Doug makes a great ride right here. Old Red Cloud. Really trying to take it away from Doug. Doug keeping all his thoughts right there in the middle of the horse. Pays off for him. 76 points for Doug.
Number 4 is the bareback director for the IPRA. Rob Gillespie comes from Adrian, Missouri. He has appeared at 4 consecutive international finals, and he is the 3-time Central Region champion. One of his best rides of the season was also in Miami, Oklahoma.
And he is on Y2 by the horse named Yellowstone. Man, oh man, I mean to tell you, Yellowstone is really bucking here in Miami. As Rob says, let me get down. Man, what a ride. Now, see what we're talking about, the position of the feet? Right there. Rob is really trying to get some leg action right there. That's what the judges are looking for. That's how you get the points. And it will reflect in Rob's score as he's going to come up with a good score of 77 points for Rob Gillespie.
At number 3 is the defending IPRA Bareback World Champion. Raymond Cooper has qualified for the IFR 5 times. This Center Ridge, Arkansas Cowboy is one of the 3 top 10 riders that have been plagued with injuries. He has been out for over 4 weeks, but still finds himself in the top 3, just under $3,000 behind the leader. The Cowboy at number 2 spent most of the time in the number 1 position. He led the bareback up until he injured his ribs at the Heart of America Rodeo in Miami. David Benjamin Ross is the rookie from Senatobia, Mississippi. He's currently number 4 in the all-around. He's had some great rides during the Oklahoma Ford Series. One of his best was in Miami, Oklahoma.
This guy right here is suffering some injury right now. He had some ribs cracked, I believe is what he told us. And he is really trying to do his thing right there on this little horse that he's drawn here. Now, the pickup moving in. He says, hey, leave me alone. Let me get off of him the best way I can. Now, watch this. David is hurting, but let's look at the replay. This horse really throws some power to David. You can see that David is sitting right in the middle of him. Really giving that leg action, and it goes to show you that he is 80 points.
That brings us now to the top of our standings. This Cowboy took over the lead from David Ross just last week. Michael Cooley of Weatherford, Oklahoma has made a surge forward by riding well and staying healthy. He was the IFR 31 high money winner and has appeared at the IFR 3 consecutive times. He performed great in Shawnee, winning the short go-round.
He is drawn Sheriff, is the name of the horse. Watch this horse right here. Whoa, I'm telling you what, Michael Cooley, he has got those legs going just like a hay baler with jet engines on them. And I'm telling you what, it's working out for Michael Cooley. That horse really bucking. Kind of got over the neck right there, but got right back to his form. 77 points for Cooley.
Well, that is a look at the top 10 standings in the bareback competition. It will continue to be a battle for the top 5 as we expect Corey Evans, Raymond Cooper, and David Ross to be back in action anytime. For the latest standings and to give us comments on the Oklahoma Ford Rodeo Series, log on to IPRArodeo.com or send us an email to rodeoshow@iprarodeo.com. We'll be right back. Want to get the best seats at Ford Center for IFR 33? Log on today to tickets.com or call 405-235-6540.
Pro Rodeo World Magazine is the official publication for the International Professional Rodeo Association. Each month, get the latest news, standing, and results. Pro Rodeo World is what you need to read to keep pace with the fastest growing sport on earth. For just $25 a year, receive 12 exciting issues. Order today by calling 405-235-6540 or visit us at www.iprarodeo.com.
We have always felt that our trucks were tougher than anybody else's trucks. I've had people say to me, I own a Ford truck and I have 120,000 miles on it and it's still as good as the day I bought it. They say to me, gee, I'd love to buy an old Ford truck, but I can't find one that's really in mint condition. That's a great thing. Those trucks have been used hard for a lot of years. You see so many Ford trucks on the work site because these trucks can take what you can dish out year after year, generation after generation. And that's what they're built for. Built Ford Tough isn't just a slogan, it's what we deliver. And we just have to make sure that we continue to give them those kind of trucks so that their kids will say, I'll only buy a Ford, I'll never buy anything else. I mean, I love hearing that.
The steer wrestling event, as always, produces some of the biggest names, not only in the association, but in the world. The current standings in the steer wrestling competition looks like this. Nick Wall is only $252 out of the top 15. Clay Hurst is in the 14th position, and at number 12 is Bart Bailey. Dustin McNeese is at number 8, and at number 6 is Brett Fackler, a mere $9,500 behind the leader. Now let's look at the top 5 competitors in the steer wrestling competition. At number 5 is the Bulldogger from Greenville, Illinois. He has qualified twice to the IFR and won the average at IFR 30 with an amazing 16.9 in 4 runs. He looks to be on his way back for the 3rd time. The Midwest City, Oklahoma Cowboy in 4th place is the big brother to the defending champion. Cornell Fields has proven he too can take a steer to his back at amazing speeds. He has proved this twice in the Ford Series. His best was in Chickasha, Oklahoma.
Well, here comes Ronnie Fields' big brother. We're talking about Cornell Fields, and I'm telling you what, for the little guy from Oklahoma City, you better watch out because Cornell will slip in there and he will beat you at your own game. Look at the momentum. When it all settles, 3 and 7.
At number 3 is the 11-time IPRA Steer Wrestling World Champion. He is also the president of the IPRA. Dale Yerigan rides Junior, the Steer Wrestling Horse of the Year. We had a chance to catch up to Dale at his ranch in Pryor, Oklahoma.
This week's Cowboy Profile is on 11-time world champion steer wrestler and current president of the IPRA, Dale Yerigan. We caught up with Dale on his ranch in Pryor, Oklahoma, where he lives with his wife Kathy and their 7-year-old son Garrett. Dale is also the owner of 7-time world champion steer wrestling horse, Junior, who also was named Steer Wrestling Horse of the Year in 2001.
He's been the best horse I've ever had, and if not the best horse I've ever seen, certainly one of the best. He's got everything it takes. He's got speed and he's tough. You know, you can take him to 100 rodeos a year and ride him everywhere, and he's good in the mud and the dry, and he's just, you know, pretty hard to beat that way. I bought him from some people I know at Inola that have had race horses and ran him on the track a little when he was a colt. Started to rope on him a little bit. He was pretty free wheeling for that, so they called me and thought he might maybe make a steer wrestling horse. And I didn't run him by very many before we got off on the first one, and he went right on by and a little close, and you know, it was a little tight, but other than that, he took to it pretty good. And I bought him when he was 6, I believe, and he's 16 now, so he's been a part of the family for a long time. And
another cowboy who rides Junior is 2-time world champion Ronnie Fields. Over the years, Dale and Ronnie have developed a strong relationship, both as competitors and friends.
You know, Ronnie's become, you know, one of the greatest steer wrestlers there is in the world, and anywhere, you know, we can go to big jackpot somewhere that's a non-sanctioned competition where you just take the best steer wrestlers from all over the world, and they're there, and he fits right in. I mean, you know, he's got a lot of talent, and I think that we've got a lot of confidence in each other and faith not only in our friendship, but it makes for a good story, I guess, to think that we compete against each other, but it's not really that. We compete against the steer, and I think that's the way both of us approach it. We try to be as fast as we can on the particular steer that we run at each rodeo, and you know, he's not necessarily trying to beat me, and I'm not trying to beat him. We're trying to be as fast as we can on that particular steer and win first at every rodeo we go to.
It's impossible to predict the future, but Dale's strong competitive spirit lets you know he's not done yet.
You know, when I get done, then I guess I'll look back at it and kind of reflect on it a little more. But right now, the next one's got to be the most important one, or all the competition will blow by me.
Dale made a great run in Miami, Oklahoma, making a statement that he is not finished just yet.
He's got to beat that 3 and 4. Watch Dale as he slides around. You talk about competitive motion. That is why he is on the Sundowner team of Oklahoma. And he comes up with a time of 4 and 1. See the championship style? Picture perfect. 4 and 1.
In second place comes a 21-year-old from Warner, Oklahoma. Last year was his first year to qualify to the IFR. He's making a great case for his return this year. We have seen Tudor Silver several times on the series, and one of his best runs was in Chickasha.
Here's one of the young guns of rodeo, just 19 years old, and really has done well so far here in the Ford Rodeo Series, and does well here in Chickasha. As we look back, and it looks like it's going to come up with a time of 4 and 3.
At the top of the leaderboard is a name that will be no surprise. Ronnie Fields is the 2-time defending IPRA Steer Wrestling World Champion. He currently leads Tudor Silver by over $6,000. Ronnie also rides Junior, the 2001 Steer Wrestling Horse of the Year. He showed his championship style in Miami.
5-time qualifier, Ronnie Fields. He is the defending world champion. You can see why this big cowboy at 225 can put one on the ground. Gets in there, you see how he slides in that stirrup, takes a hold of him. That steer has nothing to do but to give up, and a 3 and 9.
When we come back, we'll go to the classic event of rodeo, saddle bronc riding. Stay with us. Want to get the best seats at Ford Center for IFR 33? Log on today to tickets.com or call 405-235-6540.
Wherever you choose to travel in the totally new 2003 Ford Expedition, and no matter how unfriendly the traffic gets, you will be surrounded by the protection of dual front airbags, plus the only safety canopy system available in a full-size SUV. The totally new 2003 Ford Expedition, because safety should have no boundaries.
Oklahoma is home for more than 70,000 family, farmers, and ranchers. And now you can have all the convenience of living next door to the producer of the freshest, most wholesome homegrown goods you can get. Go online to madeinoklahoma.net and discover the quality and value of Made in Oklahoma products. Everything from gift baskets to gourmet meats are just a click away. At madeinoklahoma.net or call the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture at 800-580-6543.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Ford Pro Rodeo Series. I'm Georgianne Abdo, Miss Rodeo USA. When we talk about the classic event, we're talking about saddle bronc riding. The top 10 riders are all veterans to this competition. To start off our look at the best saddle bronc riders, we'll go to Drexel, Missouri to find Stacy Belt. He has made a strong run up the ladder in the past several weeks and now has his sights on the defending world champion, Ron Hogan. He was the 2000 IPRA Saddle Bronc Rookie of the Year. And the defending champion, Ron Hogan, now sits in the number 9 position. He is an 8-time IFR qualifier who we were able to get a look at in Shawnee, Oklahoma.
Great individual, Ron Hogan. Here's a guy that can win the average at the International Finals Rodeo. You see that spur in action? The whistle goes off and William, our Ford pickup man, says, "Let me get you off there, Ron." Now he marks the mark-out rule. Now, as the horse starts the action, Ron does too. Reaching, pulling back to the cantle. Just another day at the office. 75 points.
An Arizona Cowboy started his Ford Series debut in Miami. Jim Bob Custer of Wickenburg, Arizona has moved into the 8th slot, moving up some 6 places in 2 weeks.
He is on the horse they call Tomahawk. Here's a little paint mare. Now this little paint mare, she is part of the breeding program of the Thunderbolt Rodeo production. And right there you see, she just kind of weakens a little bit. Jim Bob waves to the crowd and just glad to be in Miami, Oklahoma. Let's look back at the replay. You see right there, you got to have those feet in front of the point of the horse's shoulder, and Jim Bob had that right leg tucked back under the cantle. So, therefore, it'll be no score for our Arizona Cowboy.
At number 7 is last year's all-around world champion. Jet McCoy has made 5 straight IFR appearances. He was the 1998 IPRA Saddle Bronc World Champion and holds the record in the IPRA for the most money won in a single season. He has yet to show on a Ford Series rodeo. Now at number 6, we see a cowboy that has been to the finals the past 3 years. He rides from Cecil, Arkansas. Roy Uselton showed some great determination in Shawnee to win the short go-round with this ride.
Uselton, the cowboy, calls for the horse called Cheyenne Ridge, and watch Uselton ride here. That spurring action from the front to the back of the cantle, and as our Ford pickup man, Benny Jordan, sets him on the ground, we're going to take another look at it. Now he makes the mark out rule. Now trying to get in time with this horse, Cheyenne Ridge. Getting that spurring action, comes up with a score of 73 points.
The top 5 competitors have been in the top nearly all year long. They all have appeared in the finals as well. At number 5 is Chad Oleski of Pennsylvania. He was a rookie qualifier to IFR 32. He is well on his way to his 2nd consecutive appearance. In fourth place, we find the current all-around IPRA World Standings leader. Cord McCoy competes in all 3 rough stock events. His current lead in the all-around is over $25,000. We saw a good ride with Cord in Miami.
He's on the horse they call Gunsmoke is the name of the horse. And I'm telling you, here is a great young cowboy. His brother, a former champion, and is the reigning all-around champion. As Cord McCoy gets by old Gunsmoke here and comes up with a score of 72 points for Cord McCoy here in Miami, Oklahoma.
A young rider from Fulton, Missouri finds himself in our number 3 position. Sean Prater is a 2-time IFR qualifier. He qualified his rookie year and was a great IFYR competitor. We were able to catch up to Sean in Chickasha, Oklahoma.
I guess I just have to give everything to my dad.
All right, Bill, come on now, reach down there and grab you some horns.
Gave me all my talent.
There you go.
Made sure I used it right. I don't know, he just sent me out on the road with a couple of good hands.
4 and 3.
I guess everything's just been going the way it's supposed to so far. They've been letting me win a little bit, so been having fun. Cord McCoy and Jim Bob Custer, Doug Finley, and Cody Donaldson.
Rodeo.
And Mike Wisniewski
dealers across the state of Oklahoma
we've been having a lot of fun
special program
trying to win a lot of money.
As Sean is showing his ability. And that horse weakens a little bit there on the end. And when that happens, that reflects in the scores at 71 points.
5-time IFR qualifier Todd Leftwich of Winfield, Kansas sits in the number 2 position. He was the runner-up in 2001 in this event. He has made 2 great runs at Ford Series rodeos, but this one comes from the Rodeo for Hope in Shawnee.
Todd Leftwich has been riding these wild bucking horses for a long time. You see that championship form? Now see, he got in the rhythm right there. Going to the front of the, and now back to the back of the cantle. In that rhythmic motion, 78 points. 78 for Todd Leftwich.
Our leader opened up a huge lead at the beginning of the season. Matt Whitman has been watching his $8,000 lead dwindle down to just under $1,500. Matt is on his way back to the finals to hopefully get a piece of that $500,000 purse.
He had a 70 marking in our long go. This horse right here is called Cowboy Bob, and man, let's watch this on the replay. It looked like it did, yes, and it did. Our pro rodeo officials, our diamond cut, said he was not there. See how he's lifted out of that saddle? He is up out of that saddle and has no control, and now that horse throws a little dido and just puts the ejection on him, and Whitman comes down with no score.
Now, to get the best seats for IFR 33 at the brand new Ford Center, log on to tickets.com or call 405-235-6540.